All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to explore a concept that might just flip your whole worldview on its head. It's this radical but really empowering idea that your reality doesn't just happen to you, it actually happens from you. So let's dive into it. So let's start with this massive question. What if everything you experience, your successes, your failures, the good days, the bad days, what if none of it actually comes from the outside world, but from the inside, from your own mind? I know, it's a concept that can feel a little out there at first, so let's really unpack how this is supposed to work. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we first need to appreciate just how, radical of an idea this is. It really does ask us to make a fundamental shift away from the perspective that, honestly, most of us were taught. So on one hand, you have the common belief, right? The world shapes me. We're products of our circumstances, the economy, our job, our family, the traffic. All these external things dictate how we feel and what happens to us. But the radical idea we're exploring today, it flips that script completely. It says our inner world of thought is the actual source, the starting point from which everything else flows. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, but how is that even possible? A fact is a fact, right? A building is a building. Well, this is where the core mechanism comes in. The key isn't the external world itself, but something we'll call the perception filter. So here is the absolute most important point of this whole thing. We never actually experience objective reality. We only, and I mean only, experience our interpretation of it. Think about this for a second. Two people can go through the exact same event. Let's say they both lose their job on the same day. For one person, the thought is, this is a total catastrophe, and their reality becomes one of fear and stress and despair. For the other person, the thought is, wow, this is an opportunity, and their reality becomes one of freedom and new possibilities. The event, it was identical, but their realities, worlds apart. So what was the only thing that was actually different? Their thoughts. Okay, so if thought is a starting point, how does an invisible, internal thought turn into a solid external result in your life? Let's trace the path. So check this out. We can call this the chain of creation, and it's a super powerful model. It all kicks off with a single thought. That thought immediately shapes your perception of whatever's happening. Your perception then triggers a specific emotion. That emotion in turn drives your action, or maybe your inaction. And finally, that action produces a tangible result in your life. It's this beautiful, logical chain that shows how everything we see in our external world can be traced all the way back to that tiny initial seed of a thought. And hey, this isn't just some new agey philosophical idea. It's actually backed by a lot of science and history. You've got cognitive behavioral theory, for instance. That's an entire field of psychology built on changing your thoughts to change your outcomes. Then there's neuroscience, which shows us that our brains literally, physically change based on our patterns of thinking. That's neuroplasticity. And this goes way back. Ancient philosophies, from the Stoics to the Buddhists, have been teaching this for centuries. Your mind is the architect of your experience. So, what happens when we truly accept this? I mean, really accept it. It's not a small adjustment, it has some profound consequences. And as we're about to see, it comes with both a pretty heavy price and an unbelievable amount of power. Let's talk about the price first, because honestly, it can be uncomfortable. If your thoughts create your reality, you can no longer fully blame other people, or the system, or just bad luck for your life. All those excuses, they're gone. But in exchange for that heavy weight of responsibility, you get the ultimate power, true freedom. Why? Because if you are the source of your reality, you are always in control of your experience, because you are always in control of your thoughts. And that brings us to this incredible takeaway. Change isn't something you have to wait for. It doesn't require permission from anyone or anything in the outside world. If your thoughts are the tool for change, then transformation is available to you in this very moment, simply by choosing a different thought. So, okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? This isn't just an automatic switch you flip. It's a discipline. It's a practice. So here is a simple but really powerful framework you can start using today. First, just become an observer of your own mind, like a scientist. What is that background chatter in your head saying all day long? Second, start to question those automatic thoughts. Are they really true? Where did you even get that belief from in the first place? And third, and this is the absolute game changer, you have to consciously choose. Intentionally replace the thoughts that don't serve you with ones that actually align with the reality you want to create. So we end right back where we started, but now with a challenge. If your thoughts are the source code for your life, if they are the one tool you have to shape everything else, then the only question that really matters is this: what will you choose to think next?